Today I will show you how to knit tubular fair isle slippers with an image on the Passap. I saw this photo uploaded on the Passap Facebook group where I'm secretly participating, and I started wondering if it would be possible to knit these socks on the Duo. The technique used is number 243, and after seeing the diagram in the manual I realized that it can be easily done on the Duo. Not every punch card would work with this technique, so I advise you to use the one from the description. If the holes on the card are more than 3 squares apart, you would get long loops. If you are using Passap P6000, the pattern number is 1119. Now let's get started. First, make sure the racking handle is in its highest position. Raise 36 needles on the front bed of the machine, 18 to the left and 18 to the right side of the center. Place the edge springs on the last working needles. Now raise the opposite 36 needles on the back bed and place the edge springs on the last working ones. Use the orange ruler and arrange the needles on both beds in 1-to-1 division. Don't forget to move the edge springs on the last working needles. Set both locks to CX and the stitch size to 1. Insert the black strippers and take the first color yarn. I will use 2 strands of acrylic yarn. Now knit 2 rows and raise the rest of the needles on both beds of the machine. Place the edge springs on the last working ones and tap on the needles several times to tighten the yarn. Clear the row counter and increase the stitch size to 4 on both sides of the lock. Now knit 2 rows. Increase the stitch size to 5 on both sides of the lock. Now knit 2 empty rows. Tap on the needles to tighten the yarn when knitting the first few rows. Don't forget to support me by liking the video and leaving me a comment below. Now set both locks to HX and press both left arrow keys. On the front bed, raise pushers on the row working needles and attach the card reader in the middle of the machine. Now insert the custom-made punch card until you hear a click. You will find the link for it in the description. Push the trip cam for the row counter to the left as far as it can go. On the back bed, raise pushers on the row working needles and arrange them in 1-to-1 division. Slide the deco device to the right, attach it to the lock and set it to 4. Now start knitting. You need to change the color every 2 rows, or in other words, whenever possible. You have to knit a total of 120 rows. Be careful and watch the card reader when you stop seeing the punch card. Keep knitting until the end of the card. You will notice that the sensing feelers will be in a straight line. The lock must be on the left side of the machine. Take out the card and insert it into the card reader until you hear a click. We have to knit 9 more rows. You can continue knitting. Now the lock will be on the right side of the machine. Clear the row counter and detach the deco device. Leave the deco on 4 and slide it to the left. Be careful not to touch the pushers on the front bed. Set the front lock to GX and press the 0 key to disengage the arrow key. Set the back lock to BX and press the 0 key. Now take the first color yarn. Put all pushers on the back bed in working position. Use the double-eye bodkin tool and transfer the pearl bumps of the end needles of the front bed to the end needles on the back bed. This will prevent small holes from forming. Now we have to make the heel. Put the leftmost pusher in resting position and knit one row. Now wind the yarn around the last non-working needle. When making the heel, you need to drop the front bed and attach weights to the back bed. Put the rightmost pusher in resting position and knit one row. Now wind the yarn around the last non-working needle. You have to repeat these steps until you have 12 pushers in working position in the center. You can watch this video where I'm showing you the whole process up close. I won't show you the whole process now because I'm knitting the heel on the back bed and it's difficult to get a close shot. The next stage of making the heel is raising the pushers one by one on the side of the lock and knitting one row until only the rightmost pusher remains in resting position. The row counter must be at 46 rows. Now put the rightmost pusher in working position, then arrange all pushers on the back bed in 1-to-1 division as at the beginning of the video. Set both locks to HX and press both left arrow keys. Make sure the first color yarn is in the eyelet and knit one row. Now attach the deco device to the front lock and continue knitting until the row counter is at row count 280. You have to change the color whenever possible. You will have to reinsert the punch card twice during these 280 rows, so be careful not to miss the right time. The lock must be on the left side of the machine. This is an extremely important thing. We are almost ready. Now you can set the deco to 0 and slide it to the left. Set both locks to CX. You don't need the deco and the pushers anymore. Make sure the machine is about to knit with the first color yarn. Move the edge springs to the sides. At each end on each bed, take the 2 end stitches and move them one needle in. Then put the empty needles out of working position. I bet you already know how to make the toe decreases, but tell me where you are experiencing difficulties in knitting socks. Knit 4 rows and repeat these steps until the row counter is at row count 24. Now you have to continue making decreases the same way, but you need to knit only 2 rows after transferring the stitches. Now I'm making the last decreases. You need to have 4 stitches on each bed. Now knit the last 2 rows. Take both yarn tails and cut them. Remove the weights and sew off the stitches in a circular manner. Start by taking all stitches on the front bed from right to left, then take all stitches on the back bed from left to right. This is the slipper right after you take it from the machine. Do you like it? I think it looks amazing. The heels are also looking great. You may end up having a bump on one of the sides, but after you stretch the yarn a bit it will disappear. The stretching will allow the yarn to settle down. You may also put the slippers in the washing machine and this will fix that problem. That's the final result. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked the video, have a nice day and see you in my next one.